Hi Vibrant Souls, welcome or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is Vibrant Soul Tarot, and of course I'm so happy to have you here. So today's pick a card reading, we're going to be looking at the changes that are going to be happening for you in your life. So first things first, I want to look at where these changes are going to be in your life. So for example, like, is this going to be changes in your money, changes in love, changes in yourself? We're going to be trying to see as best as we can where these changes are going to be implicated. And then we're going to see what is going to actually be the change or the changes for you. So if this sounds like something you are interested in, or maybe for some of you, I feel intuitively you've been feeling changes coming. And so this video could find you in that time of like what they're going to be. You may be sensing some sort of change in the air, change in the wind. If you want to take a shot for every time I said change in this video, I will warn you that you will probably be extremely drunk right now. I'm just kidding. So let's go ahead and get into the pile selection here. So we have these 3 piles to choose from. Pile number 1, starting right here, we have the Power Crystal Tarot along with this Amethyst Cluster. Moving along to pile number 2, we have the Neoteric Feminine Tarot along with this Crystal Quartz Pyramid. And then last but not least, for pile number 3, we have the Affrimators Tarot deck along with this Hematite Tower. Okay, so if you still need more time in choosing your pile, that's fine. You're more than welcome to pause the video here, take as much time as you need. When you do have your pile selected, I will post the timestamps for each one in the description box below, as always, for your convenience. And also, if you feel really torn between 1 or 2 piles, or you feel drawn to multiple piles, you may actually have just multiple things in your life that are going to be changing for you. So if that's something you feel drawn to look at as well, you're more than welcome to view as many piles as you need. You'll probably know for the most part if it's your pile or if it's resonating for you. So just trust yourself, and I will see you guys at your reading. Bye. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose the Power Crystal Tarot or if you chose the Amethyst Cluster, welcome. So today we are looking at what changes are going to be happening for you in your life. So first things first, we're going to be looking at, with the tarot, where these changes are going to be happening for you in your life, like what aspect of your life they're going to be happening for you. Then we're going to be looking at a little bit more about, in detail about what these changes actually are. And then we're going to be looking at what you need to know about these changes. And then, of course, last but not least, we're going to do some advice for you, like always. So let's go ahead and get started. Spirit, can you please tune me into my pile 1's energy, please? And can you please show me in pile 1 where these changes are going to be implicated in their life at the time that they are coming across this reading, please? Thank you. Where and what changes? So where are these changes happening for you, pile 1? I'm sorry, I don't know why I was like, does this want to come out? Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups. Where are these changes happening for you? We have the Sun. We have the 9 of Swords. Let's get one more. Where are these changes happening? We have the 10 of Cups popping out. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Wands. So this definitely feels like it's going to be an important change for you in your romantic life. This could be with someone in particular. This is why I wanted to see what it's about, and then we're going to see like what these changes actually are for you. But it does feel like there is going to be some sort of clarity coming in for you about something or a situation that you were kind of on the fence about, or something that you were worried about, especially when it comes to the future. I feel like with this Nine of Swords is definitely some anxiety around things working, things not working, what's going to happen, possibly getting hurt, all of that. But the fact that we have the Sun and the Ten of Cups is I feel like there's going to be an issue here that's definitely going to be resolved for the most part. And it's going to be something that definitely I feel eases the mind, not something that causes any more frustration or any more like what ifs. It's something, for some of you, this could be a situation. It could be somebody coming in with this Knight of Cups. Like it could be literally a love connection coming towards you. I love that on this, excuse that here. I love that on this card in particular, in this Knight of Cups, it says, I know that the right person waits until I am ready. So for some of you, this could be a situation that was put on hold because you and this person were going through obviously your own things, life, growth, maybe past connections and things like that. And so this person is coming in for you at the right time. And it seems like with the Sun, it's going to be optimistic at first, but I feel as though with this Nine of Swords, you have your rights to have your worries and your doubts, mostly maybe because of like past situations and past things. But I feel as though, like I said, this is going to be something that helps you resolve these fears or resolves these doubts and stuff. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Wands, which is I stand my ground and I look for peace on there, which I think is very telling to what we're kind of seeing here, you know, trying to stay peaceful and also kind of looking for the answers and not looking for maybe things to go wrong is something that I'm hearing as well. But let's go ahead and see what these changes in this situation, in this romantic situation, actually are going to be. So we have hard work ahead with Table. What are these changes happening? What are these changes happening for pile one in this situation? Oop. Oh, okay. That was like 5 more. So maybe I kind of want like 1 more. Let's see. So we have Table, which is hard work ahead. We have Bell, which is announcement. We have Bird Perch, which is waiting for news, package, or letter. And then we have the Eye, which is psychic ability and trusting your intuition. Interesting. I want to get 1 more. 1 more for you. Oh, at the bottom we have Lily, which is spiritual love. Let's see. What are these changes happening? Stepping into a new experience. Yeah. So I feel as though this is going to be a situation where I think this is going to be something long-term. For some of you, just with the Table, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt that thought, but we have Bull now at the bottom, which is don't back down from opposition, show strength and fortitude. I feel like with this Table, for some of you, this could be a situation that you have been working on with somebody, but for the most part, I feel like this is somebody that is going to bring something to the table for you in particular, and I feel like that could be growth and understanding, or it's whatever it is that, you know, that this person is going to be bringing, but I feel like it's going to be something different. We have that leg stepping into a new experience. I do feel like there are going to be some triggers here, of course, when it comes to having to trust, having to let go of control, having to see where this situation goes and whatnot. And I say, of course, because these are things that are just so natural that happen, especially in love. You know, I'm a tarot reader and I specifically read most of the time love readings, so I completely get it. I'm also somebody that's had relationships myself, so I totally get it. Like, I think that these things are coming up for you now, or at least in this reading, for you to also have compassion for yourself and understanding, and more so awareness, not because this fear is coming up because something's going to go wrong. And that's why we have this intuitive energy as well too, because your intuition doesn't really come through like fear for most people. Even when I look back and I remember situations where my intuition was trying to tell me something really strongly. I'm sure it's different for everyone too, but, you know, instead of giving me that fear kind of feeling, I was getting feelings of like being sick, like sick to my stomach. Like, oh my gosh, I kind of feel like I'm gonna throw up. I don't know why. As I'm like, I remember like distinctly like getting ready to go places where bad things had happened. And like I felt nauseous. I did not feel scared at all. So I feel like with these fears, these are something deeper. They're coming for you to acknowledge, to heal, and to release as well. And I think that I just feel like I should remind you, you know, that you're definitely a wise, capable, strong person. And sometimes when we're kind of challenged with situations, or we're kind of challenged with our ego and our fears and anxieties, we tend to forget that. And I think that this is a great reminder to remind yourself that you're capable of, first of all, I feel strongly too, it's like if you were to just see where you've come from and all that you've survived in this lifetime as well, you would definitely be like, oh yeah, I'm so capable of doing or experiencing anything else. And I also feel called to remind you that these experiences, yes, like with another person or in life, it's great to have somebody that looks at you in an amazing way. Like I would hope that this person looks at you in an amazing way and has love for you. But also I feel called to remind you that life is also meant to be experienced and not just only perceived by other people or somebody else. Like experience is just as much for you as it is for someone else. So let yourself kind of open up to it, you know, let yourself experience, let yourself, I'm seeing the Page of Wands now. So let yourself explore, you know, where you feel guided as well. With this bird perched as well, waiting for news, package, or letter, and this bell announcement, for some reason, it's giving me like that phone, like ding. You know how sometimes some people's phone even sounds like a bird? So maybe there could be a lot of communication or some communication happening for you through text messages as well. But this is something that I feel like it's gonna ring a bell when you come across it, for sure. Like you're going to know what it is when it happens. For some of you, maybe this is someone that has already just entered your life as well. But let's see a little bit more of like what you need to know about these changes. And also this table, hard work ahead, it makes me think of long term too. So this could be somebody that is going to be in your life for a long time. Because it seems like there's a journey ahead for you with that as well. And also with this 10 of Cups too, there's a potential of like a future here, since the 10s are always kind of talking about completion. And the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles and stuff like that can talk about like having a family, or just it's a very developed energy. And so I think that with this 9 of Swords right next to it as well, there's also a message with these changes to not worry so much about the future and kind of just be in the moment. You don't have to have all of the answers figured out. Sometimes that's the best part, is exploring it, you know, and figuring it out ourselves. Especially, you know, if you're into like tarot and stuff like that, like most of my viewers are, because it's tarot readings, duh. But like, and I'm guilty of this sometimes too. It's like we have these tools and we just want to know like every single step of the way, every single detail. And sometimes life is just meant to be a mystery. Like sometimes we're just not meant to know. And honestly, I feel as though like if I give myself personal readings all the time wanting to know something, I feel like I get messages that throw me off the scent. I'm not even joking. Like I think it's like a chance or a practice to use my discernment and to not just feed into every little thing, you know? And so that could be something that you're going to be either going through or trying to learn as well, that maybe we don't have all the answers, and maybe sometimes that's just the point, is to learn and to see. Okay, so we have laughing and crying that I'm seeing coming out too, which does make me think of there's an array of emotions within this connection as well. Going to be, and also, you know, no connection is perfect. Like one of the things as well that I feel like we should always remember, especially if we want a healthy relationship, is a healthy relationship isn't always a perfect relationship. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship. Healthy people like that are in a relationship, if this is what a goal that you want is a healthy relationship, they disagree. They argue, you know, they butt heads as well too, but the healthy part isn't the perfect part. The healthy part comes from how we communicate this, how we act, and what we're able to put in. Are we willing to grow, you know, and stuff like that. So I felt called to remind people as well too. So with that laughing and crying, like there could be a lot of feelings that come up for you within this connection. And I feel like, again, that's something that is definitely guided. So we have a smother. What does pile 1 need to know? Sitting on top of the world. Yeah. We have under a spell. I don't know why I wanted to say under the sea. Under the sea. Ooh, dream travel. Okay, so let's see here. We have sitting on top of the world. We have the lonely journey of the priestess. And we have the one who needs to control here. Now, I feel as though with this under a spell here, this is going to be like that, those feelings, it almost is giving me like a honeymoon feeling, or just feeling like you're not 100% yourself, or maybe sometimes that can mean like we're not seeing something 100% clearly because there's a lot of emotions here. We could be really infatuated and stuff. And I feel like there's also, with this smother, one of the things that you need to know about these changes is also don't forget to take time for yourself, and also remember to enable boundaries for yourself as well too. There is something here again about kind of communication. It's almost as if like if somebody isn't able to what am I trying to say here? There could be, so you could be learning a lot about yourself, and you could be learning a lot about something specifically around an attachment style that you're definitely going to be bringing your awareness to. And it's something that is your feelings with this lonely journey of a priestess. It's your feelings and it's your healing alone. I think that there's definitely going to be a point here that you take the blame off of the other person and you completely go within and you start to really see the patterns and the cycles within yourself. Now, this is something that is going to be tremendously helpful for you, especially in certain relationships as well. Also, the one who needs to control is definitely giving me what we were talking about earlier, needing to know all the answers, know what's happening. There seems to be a want and a need for a sense of freedom on both ends of this situation here that I feel like you're being called to not take personally, and this person as well, maybe to not take personally here. But with this sitting on top of the world, I can't help but think that I kind of want to read this one in the guidebook, but I can't help but think of this is something that you're like watching something that you have. Like the world to me in here is kind of like, okay, this is what I've wanted. It seems to be like almost like an accomplishment. And now you're seeing it and you're like, well, what do I do with this? What's going to happen? Where is it going to go? And there's a lot of questions. And I feel like, again, you're being guided to ease that anxiety of the future and allow it to unfold naturally. There's a lot of potential and a lot of beauty within this as well. And I think that it's important to monitor our own feelings and sit with ourselves when we are kind of feeling triggered as well. And I also feel called to tell you too, like, even the most advanced person in their healing journey still gets triggered. That's kind of the whole point, is that a lot of the time we get triggered and we don't even realize that we had those triggers. And that's the irony of the trigger coming to you, is because it's like, hey, look at this, and so don't shame yourself for certain triggers as well. You could be everyone can be super advanced and still, has these like little moments and stuff. So be kind to yourself and understanding as much as, you would expect somebody to be kind and understanding to you and help you work through your feelings as well. But yeah, I feel like this is something that, you've kind of always wanted with this sitting on top of the world. And it's like, let's read it. Let's see what it says. I feel really excited when I'm doing this reading. I don't know why I felt like this whole time I feel really excited, like kind of nervous, like a little giddy too. So that could be the energy, that the change in the energy that's coming for you as well. Oh, look. So we have sitting on top of the world. It says, you made it. Bam. You are on top now, looking down. Don't all of your struggles look tiny from up here? Dang. Enjoy this time of success and empowerment. And remember that, remember next time you have a stress that makes you feel like it will be the end of the world. Think back to this time. Think back to all the struggles that brought you to this place. And if you are in the place where you are dealing with many difficulties, think back to the last time you felt like you were on top. If you were there before, you can be there again. Wow, that's just a full circle of kind of what we were talking about too, because guys, did I literally say, my memory, it fails me, especially when I'm doing readings, especially when I'm channeling. But I'm pretty sure I said, you know, to look back at all the things you've overcome, that it's no sweat off your back, or I don't know if that's the phrase as well too. Now I'm just saying things, but you get what I'm saying. Like, wow, like you've overcome so much. So when you finally have this and you finally have what you want, and maybe these fears that come up with it, of course, because that's a part of the journey, when these fears that come up with it come to you, remember that you're capable of this. Remember that you will always come out on top. Remember that you've always came out on top because you're still here living. And that, and I love what it said too, of like, when you're going through a tough time, to remember that you will be on top again. I really love that part of that as well too. That's probably why I felt called to read it, because there was something in there that I think was needing to hear. And especially when you're feeling like, like this guy, which we've all been there as well too, and we're just like, oh, I need to know the answers, what's happening. And you start to feel this, like the fact that this person's like jaw is so tight and their fist is clenched. There's a lot of tension here. There's a lot of feelings here. I feel like as well, you know, remind yourself that you can't control everything, and some things are just out of your control. And with that, I feel like, you know, to try to release that tension, because what you're doing is you're releasing that responsibility. Like, not everything is always on your shoulders. Not everything is your fault. Not everything is going to be your fault. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes we take on a little bit more responsibility than is needed. So for you in particular, try to relax a bit, like relax your jaw when you're feeling that tension. Maybe you hold a lot of tension in your face. That's just like one of the first things, you know, the first signs of easing this. And yeah, with this lonely journey of the High Priestess, it's your journey and your journey alone. And it's not always going to be what it was before, and it's not going to be someone else's experience as well. This is something that is particularly yours. I'm feeling that we had that spiritual love, now that I'm remembering, and we also have the, you know, the High Priestess here, or the Priestess here, which is telling me this is something that is guided a long part of your spiritual path. And it's meant to, you know, go in the direction that it's meant to go in, wherever that is. So that's funny that this one came out right after it, because it's like, this is your journey, and it's a little path and stuff. So I do feel like this is a really positive change for you. This is something that, like I said, you've been wanting. This is something that, I mean, we even saw it here. This is something that you've been wanting to experience maybe for a long time. And this is also probably, like we were saying before, is going to bring up some things that they're meant to come up. So not to worry. It's not like a sign that, if there's obstacles in the way, or there's tension, or it's not a sign that you should stop, or that it's not meant for you. It's just showing you what needs to be shown within. So now I think that's it. Oh my gosh, I almost feel like I need to start doing extended readings, because now I almost feel like we need to go deeper into this. Maybe I will start doing extended readings really soon. I've been really looking into it. I really have. So maybe that's something that definitely I'll start doing, because now I'm starting to see that they can be actually really helpful. So with that being said, let's get a little bit of advice for you. Anything you may need to know, whether that's even about this situation, or sometimes the advice comes out for just something you need to know right now. I kind of like to leave it open to interpretation, but let's talk about it. So what advice Spirit do we have for pile 1 in regards to these changes? Oh, this is my favorite card in the whole deck because this is what the deck is named after, and it's the universe has my back. I love this for your advice. I love, like I said, I love this card. This is saying that you're not alone on this journey. You are, your choices and where you are being led is definitely divinely supported. So again, I feel called to tell you again, take off some of that responsibility and know that you are cared for. Even if it doesn't feel like it. That's kind of the whole thing about, you know, being here on this earth, is that we have this illusion of separation and we have this illusion of being alone and being apart from things, but that's just not the truth, pile 1. That's not the truth. The universe does have your back, and it's not, you know, compared to popular belief, it's not always conspiring against you, it's conspiring for you. And sometimes it feels like it conspired against us by putting us through past situations that were just not, you know, pleasant, putting us through hardships. But I guarantee that, especially if it comes to changes, positive changes, like in a romantic situation, a lot of the times, if you look past on your failed romantic situations, you'll see that you've grown so much. And a lot of the time you'll see that you may have had to learn certain things about yourself and about other people and about the world before you're able to receive something that needs to be taken care of. It's like you needed to, it's like you're in a video game and it's like you need to level up to have the tools and to have the knowledge in order to just play this level. Because it's like if you were to just jump into this level, you would be like, what am I doing here? All of those things, all those triggers, all of those things, they still would have came up. You know what I'm saying? And so this is a good sign. This is a great sign, pile 1. So just remember, the universe has your back, okay? I love this too. I honor how I want to feel. I feel like this I honor how I want to feel for you, pile 1, is about you allowing yourself to give yourself permission to want the best outcome for yourself, to look on the positive side and to remember that that's possible, to believe in your good luck and to validate those other feelings as well too. I know a lot of the time we talk about validating our feelings and that's like our sadness and our things like that, but there's also a whole nother side to you that wants to be validated too. It's like your wants, your desires, the love that, you know, the type of relationship that you want, the type of life that you want, like definitely honor that as well too, because that's just as much as important and needed. And I think that this is about shifting your focus to that as well too, because when you're like, okay, this is what I want, then that already is setting the standards. You're already setting standards. You're already kind of setting boundaries with that too. If you hold your wants, you know, high, of course, leave room for people's humanity and your humanity. We're not always perfect and stuff. And that's kind of what we were talking about too, of like, you know, a healthy relationship doesn't mean a perfect relationship. It means, you know, you have healthy boundaries, healthy communication and things like that. So if that's things that you want, honor that, because that's what the universe will want to bring you, as long as you know, hold true to your values and things of that nature. Now I feel called to the bottom one. I was going to say the back one. So I recognize that I have chosen fear and I choose again. I choose love. Yeah, when things are seeming a little unclear, when you're like, I don't know what to do, I don't know if I can trust myself, tune into that loving energy and try to remember that fear is also an illusion. Yes, fear is something that at one point in time kept us, excuse me, I burped. At one point in time kept us safe, or we had to develop a fear around something to keep us safe because we were hurt. But in order to break free and get the things that you want, then, you know, you have to overcome. And fears are just meant to be overcome. Of course, we're not talking about like the life or death, fight or flight fear. Like if you're in a dangerous situation, that fear is great. And that's needed too, like instinct fear. But if it's, you know, if it's clouding up your own judgment and it's stopping you from expressing yourself, and if it's stopping you from pursuing the things that you want, whether that's, you know, love, career, anything, you know, anything. Of course, just come back to that love. Remember, only love is real, and choose love over fear. That's something that's really important. That's kind of like what we were seeing here with that intuition, kind of like that's not necessarily the truth. The fear is not always necessarily the truth. In fact, it hardly ever is. In fact, the truth lies underneath the fear. So I think that's something that is important to remember. But yeah, on that note, I am going to leave this reading here for you. Thank you so much for staying. I'm wishing you lots of love and hope and joy in these changes. And I can't wait. Guys, now that I'm like closing this reading, it's kind of going away, but there's like an excitement, and it almost like it feels like a borderline fear and borderline excitement in the heart chakra area. So I don't know if you guys are going to be super excited, or it's hard to distinguish almost between anxiety too. So maybe that's coming through for you, to remember that sometimes maybe excitement can feel like anxiety too, and vice versa. So yeah, but that's interesting. And it's so funny because I was like dealing with it. I was kind of ignoring it the whole reading almost. I think I mentioned it like one time. But other than that, I was ignoring it the whole reading. So then when I'm closing out the reading, it kind of like went away. I was like, oh. So I'm like, whoa, you guys are definitely, honor your feelings for sure. All types of feelings. Sit with them as well too. Allow them to process, because it feels a lot better when they're not being held onto. So yeah, that was the last message for you apparently. But thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all who like the videos. Thank you so much for all of you who subscribe. I love you guys so much, and I'm so grateful for every single one of you. And I just enjoy doing these readings, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next reading. So if you are not subscribed and you would like to see the next reading, or maybe some other readings as well, go ahead and subscribe now if that's something you want to do so you don't miss out. But either way, I'll see you there. Bye. Hi Pile 2, welcome to your reading. If you chose the Neoteric Feminine Tarot, or if you chose the Pyramid Quartz, welcome. So today we are asking, what changes are entering your life at this time that you are coming across this reading? So first things first, we're going to be seeing what these changes, or where these changes, I guess I should say, are going to be like implicated in your life. Like what part of your life, what aspect is it going to be affecting? Then we're going to be looking at more what these changes actually are that are going to be happening for you. Then we're going to be looking at what you need to know about these changes. And then last but not least, like always, we're going to be having some advice for you about the situation or the changes, or maybe just anything. We'll see. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Spirit, if you could please tune me in to my Pile 2's energy, please. And if you can please show me what or where these changes, I keep mixing that part up, where these changes are going to be affecting their life. What part of their life are these changes going to be entering their life, please? Thank you. So where are these changes happening for Pile 2? Okay, so we have the Four of Cups. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Queen of Swords. Let's get one more. And we have the Star. Interesting. So the Star, bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. I feel like with this Four of Cups, these changes are going to be happening for you in an area where you felt either really discontent, or it's something that you've kind of been waiting for, like you've been focusing on, you've been trying to do, trying to trust yourself here. And with the Star card, it's almost giving me like this is something that you've been wishing for or been wanting as well. And I think that this is going to be something with the Four of Cups that can come out of the blue, because a lot of the times in the depiction of the Four of Cups, it's somebody that's really focused on three cups, and then there's like a cup behind them or to the side, kind of like, hey, here you go. And so I'm feeling like that's kind of what this change is going to be affecting, or at least where it's going to be affecting. It's kind of going to be out of the blue. It's going to be something with the Page of Wands that I feel you're going to feel excited for. And with the Queen of Swords, you know, this is something that you're going to have to trust yourself and trust your judgment for as well. I'm hearing discipline for some of you. It could have been something in regards to this Queen of Swords here. But yeah, so the star coming out, I definitely feel like this is something that you've been hoping for, something that you've been wishing for. Of course, the whole point of this reading is we're going to see more on what the change is. So I do feel called to look at the Eight of Swords first. So this could be something that you're definitely not even able to see clearly right now, because the Eight of Swords can be about like illusions, very much kind of in your head, and not being able, they're always blindfolded. So it's not being able to see. And maybe you're having a hard time trusting that these changes are even coming, or having a hard time trusting that this is something that's going to happen for you. And because we have the Hanged Man here, so that could also be like maybe you felt a little stuck. You know, your life kind of, it just feels like it's been the same kind of tone this whole time, and you've been trying to create some sort of change in your life here. And with that being said, underneath that, we have the World card, which I hope it didn't show the boob. Did it show the boob? Threw me off. We have the World card, which means that it's going to be ending a completion here of a cycle here for you too. So that's always exciting. Now I'm kind of excited to see what these changes are actually in regards to. So let's take a look. So what are these changes happening for pile 2, please? Ooh, Staff. We have you will be taken care of in difficult times. So for some of you, you know, with that Hanged Man in that World, this is about difficult times ending for you as well, too. Like the change is just, the hard times are over. Things are going to be getting better. We also have Bouquet, compliments from an admirer. Ooh, so maybe some of you are going to be getting some sort of recognition in something as well, like something that you've been putting your time and effort into. You're going to be starting to see your efforts take flight and see that maybe it wasn't all for nothing, you know? What are these changes that are going to be happening for pile 2, please? What are these changes happening for pile 2? Ooh, move my hair. We have great passion. Ooh, that's what I was feeling with that Page of Wands. I feel like there's a new passion kind of ignited here and a new excitement. Maybe the fact that the Page of Wands is depicted as like a track runner, or I can't remember what that's exactly called, but I know it, but I'm not going to sit here and try to think about it. But basically, you see what they're kind of doing there. It's where they jump over that thing. So I feel like maybe that's about you finally getting over a really tough hurdle in your life, overcoming it. And then on the way down, like when they're flying down, there's a great excitement of like, man, like I did it. You know what I'm saying? It kind of all ties together. Like I'm picturing the whole action now. And I think again with this Queen of Swords, this is because you really trusted yourself in this, and you really had to do what you had to do in order to get to this point. And I think that's something that's really going to be paying off for you as well. Whether this is something that you have a great passion for, or it's just if you feel a more passion for your life, like you feel like it's just better. What else? Let's get one more. What are these changes entering pile 2's life, please? Ooh, so we have a couple more. I'll look at them, but oh, look at, we have ink pot, sorry, problems to be resolved. Okay, I'll take them all. Okay, you convinced me, Spirit. I'll take them all because I feel like they kind of tell a story a little bit. So we have the first one coming out for you as I, with the psychic ability and trusting your intuition. We also have ink pot, which is problems to be solved or resolved. Sometimes I just read what I want to read. Like I didn't even notice that said resolved until I was corrected. Okay, and then mountain road. You are on the road to success. Look at the mountain too, how we were just talking about overcoming some sort of big hurdle, some climbing a mountain. Oh my gosh, I'm hearing It's the Climb by Miley Cyrus. I think is it from Hannah Montana, the movie? But it's Miley Cyrus. Anyways, where it's like there's always going to be another mountain. You're always going to want to make it move. But it's about the climb instead of just the destination. And this could have been a tough climb for you in particular, but I do see that it's going to be getting a lot better. And anything that you seem to be kind of worried about here with this 8 of Swords and this 7 of Swords, it seems to be getting resolved for you. And so these are very positive changes. I'm happy for you for sure. I was going to say something else. I think I was going to look at the, oh, look, I was going to look at the bottom of the deck too. Oopsies. I almost dropped the whole deck, but it's the Boot, which is increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. So I feel like you're going to be having more energy as well. Again, you're going to be seeing results for something here. Definitely, it's like all of your healing work, the trust you had in yourself and the faith, you know, kind of pushing through these hard times are definitely going to be rewarded. I see these changes being something that's kind of almost been a long time coming for some of you, or at least it feels that way. And I feel like this is about you also realizing that even when times were tough, you were always okay. And the universe still kind of did have, I mean, it's not, I don't want to say still kind of did, but I feel like it's maybe felt like it still kind of did have your back. That's something that came up in another pile as well too. But like, it's like, even through the tough times, you are still being guided. Sometimes we just have to kind of go through things to come out on the other side and see why we had to go through things. I think that's something that's really important for you as well, too. Like, you're going to be getting some sort of clarity as well. And it seems to be a very refreshing energy coming in for you. I just, you know, I can't help but think again, this eye right here is that Queen of Swords. Like, you know, you were trusting your intuition the whole time, even if you weren't seeing things, or even if it didn't make sense to you, or whatever the case is. And so with that being said, it's gonna be either what you wanted it to be, or with the star can be even better. You know, the star can surpass. Yeah. Sorry for the little X's too. That's why I was like, oh my gosh, I hope that other card, if they look really, I found that, you know, if there's nudity and it looks really realistic, YouTube is like, no. But if it's like cartoon drawings, things like that, or you can't really tell what it is, then it's okay. But some things I just have to cross out just so I don't get flagged. All right, let's go ahead and see what you need to know about these changes as well for you. So what does pile 2 need to know about these changes in particular, Spirit? We have suppression suppression of a star being by hands unworthy with the number 1. What does pile 2 need to know about these? Broken and hatched. Oh, I love this. You've been going through some tremendous healing, whether you know it or not. I feel as though this suppression by star beings by hand unworthy has something to do with things that have been triggering you, and about these obstacles, and about the situation that you are overcoming that has to do with these great changes for you. I feel as though this is about you realizing your worth and realizing that you are so worthy of anything that you've ever wanted. And you may have had to go through situations to make you realize that, but the fact that you're coming out on top, and the fact that maybe you felt like there was a really tough time or tough situations that broke you, it's giving me that energy of being broken open and allowing everything to be released, and allowing all of the light to flood in for you to overcome, to be better, to be stronger, to see what it is that, you know, maybe was unconscious or subconscious, things that coming to the surface that you may have needed to heal for your betterment, for your advancement, and for these very changes that seem to be taking place for you here as well. Now we have this, you can't find goodness because you lost your heart. I still think that you're on the road to healing, and I still think it's not like everyone's healed and better. I think that you definitely are on the road to success. And I think that, oh, look. Sorry. We'll talk about that in a second. I always do that. I always interrupt my own self. But I think that, you know, there was things that you definitely had to let go of. in order to reach the certain point that you know you needed to be at and you know you needed to reach. And this could also be indicating of letting go of past beliefs, old situations, things coming to the surface, triggers like we were talking about, showing themselves to you for you to realize, to look at, to feel, and to definitely rewrite your story is what I'm hearing. It's almost as if like these things that you had to go through or you couldn't do at one point in time, you attracted, and I don't want to say you attracted like you deserved it. It's kind of like it was for your development. And on the other side of this mountain, you're going to see why, or the reasonings for this. This is about all these, this suppression of star being hands unworthy. These are about all of these things that were either done to you, said about you, whether that's growing up through your childhood, all of these things that you are facing in order to be the person that you've always known you truly were and always wanted to become. And in order to be successful, in order to have these things, in order to, whether even that's a relationship or anything like that in the future, it's like you had to let go of all of these beliefs that were cast upon you by others. Because everything that we kind of go through in our life, especially in our younger years, shapes and forms us in deep ways that we have no idea until we meet a person or we go through a situation that really brings that out in us. That we're like, whoa, like, why am I doing this? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I allowing this? This is tremendous healing for you. And I just want to say that I'm really, really proud of you and I'm proud of where you're going. But first off, Spirit wants you to sit with yourself now and be proud of how far you've came right now. Spirit says that you don't give yourself enough recognition for all of your accomplishments and all of the things that you have done because you may be focused on what's next to come or what you want in the future. And that's fine. You can stay focused on that as well. It's good to have goals. It's good to have hope and ambition and things like that. But don't forget that, this version of yourself is worthy of your attention and your gratitude and your love right now. Because I feel that strongly that you're still, whether these changes are happening right now or in the future, you're someone that's going to be constantly going through growth and changes and improving your life. And so with that being said, this version of yourself right now may not be with you forever. And you will look back on it one day and thank this version and probably hold so much love and space for this version of yourself. So you're more than welcome to give it to yourself now is what Spirit's kind of saying. And it will help you along the way too. The more, you can never have too much love. You can never have too much self-love. And you can never have too much belief in yourself. I think that believing in yourself as well is something that's going to, and your confidence in yourself is something that is going to greatly improve with this healing. And I think that it's going to be a magical experience. And I think that, with this rainbow, oh, look at your light under there. Oh, pile two. Anyways, I think that with this rainbow bridge at the bottom of the deck here, specifically for you, this is talking about going that next step, taking a chance, doing whatever, like just continuing on your journey, or maybe even going that extra mile, doing that next, I don't even want to say something specific. It's just kind of like along your journey, you're protected. It may not feel like that a lot of the times, for sure, because sometimes we feel like we mess up. Sometimes we feel like we fall, but we get back up. You know what I'm saying? But you are definitely protected with this rainbow bridge. And this is about Spirit having your back and Spirit saying, look, like, and I'm also getting rainbow transference, which is, I think, is another card in here too. And that's almost like alchemizing everything and anything like your mistakes or past situations, past pains, alchemizing them to your own benefit, to your own power. Crazy. And your light, this little light of mine. Yeah, not letting anyone else dim your light as well. I think that's very important here specifically. And I know, that this card portrays somebody who's had their light dimmed. It's portrayed somebody who maybe had felt victimized, who have felt betrayed, or at least all of these things that came from these other hands, you know? And so with the knowledge and knowing that it came from other hands and it's not truly you, that's the beginning stage right there of releasing all of these things as well. And I do feel it cracking open in my heart chakra and all of this love kind of flooding in, which is really beautiful. It's like these things weren't here to break you. They were here to break you open. And all of these wounds that seemingly were bleeding out were being released, and you're letting that love in, you're letting that light in and flow through you. And I think you had no idea, or at least you will have no idea, how healing these situations are for you, because this is for your own advancement. Yeah, and sometimes, like I said, we have to leave certain things behind in order to move on, and it feels like the end of the world. But this is just the beginning for you, pile 2. This is something so great for you. Sometimes when a situation ends, a new one begins. Actually, most of the time, an ending is a new beginning in some way, shape, or form. It's never actually the end. Even when we die, it's never the end. It's only the beginning. But yeah, I just want to keep saying I'm really proud of you for some reason. I think Spirit is tremendously proud of you. I think your guides are tremendously proud of you. And I think that they know that this road that you have chosen in this lifetime is not easy. And I think with that being said, I'm laughing because I feel like it's overused, but it's like used in like memes and stuff. But I heard, you know, the toughest soldier, like, you know, God gives the toughest battles to its toughest soldiers. That sometimes can be like, ugh, because, you know, who wants tough battles? But it's really like the case for you. Like, you are tremendously resilient. And I think that you may be a little bit hard on yourself at times as well. Maybe you think that you're not where you need to be a lot of the time, or you think that there's something wrong with the way you're doing things because you're not where you should be, or it's not going the way that you thought it would in some situations. And that's seeming to be an obstacle to overcome here for you as well. And that could also be something that was cast upon you by other people too. Comparing your journey to someone else's, it can be so detrimental. Sometimes it can be very helpful to look at other people's experiences and see like, oh, that's like as an example. But it's never, I feel like never... Two people's experiences are never exactly the same. So just because it works for somebody else doesn't mean it works for you. You'll find what works for you. You'll find your niche. You'll find your way in this world. And you'll be darn good at it, okay? You will be darn good at it. So remember that. So on that note, oops, that was a horrible shuffle. Let's go ahead and get some advice here for you. I feel like I need, after this energy, I feel like I need a good cry, like a good release. Not because I'm sad. I feel like I have things that just want to be released here. So let yourself feel, let yourself cry as well. There's nothing wrong. In fact, it's very therapeutic to have just a good cry. You don't even have to have a reason to cry. If you feel it, that sometimes those are intuitive releases that come through that you just feel strongly. Like, it's just your body saying like, okay, we got to get this out. So don't judge yourself as well. Also, there's like scientific evidence that a good cry is very therapeutic to us. It like causes the stress hormones to release and a bunch of other stuff too. I feel like there's a reason why after you cry, you can just take like the best nap in the world. Like, you can just have the biggest cry and you're just like, okay, I go to sleep now. You know what I'm saying? There's signs pointing to it's because also it can feel like a lot too. So maybe you do need some rest at times, but for the most part, these are really positive changes. I didn't want to get too much. I guess it got a little heavy for you, pile 2, but that's okay because life gets heavy. You know, some things aren't always rainbows and butterflies and sunshine, but then but after the rain, the rainbows and the butterflies and the sunshine come. You know, it's all a what's the word? It's ebb and flow. It's all an ebb and flow, and it's all, you know, ups and downs, and that's everyone's life as well too. No one stays happy forever. It's honestly a lot of the times the obstacles and challenges that we overcome that make life sometimes worth living. And I know that may sound like crazy to some people, but it's true. If everything were just happy and good all the time, and there was no challenges in life, there was nothing to reach, no goals, no anything, we would be so bored and so depressed. You know what I'm saying? Especially like us here, like on Earth, like we would just be so bored and so depressed. We would be like, okay, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's get your advice now. Oh, my dog came to visit. Hello. I can't talk right now. I'm a little busy. Dang it, I messed these all up now. Oh well. Nothing's perfect, right? Oh look, the universe has your back. What advice do we have here for pile 2? Thank you. The first card we have advice for you is, I am the loving energy of the universe. Oh yeah. Sometimes when we're in isolation, sometimes we have this illusion of feeling very separated from everything and everyone, and we feel like we're the only ones suffering, and it's just because that's how our minds kind of make it seem, you know? And so it's good to remember that we are everything, and that we are connected to everything, and there is a source of unconditional love that you came from and that you are, and that you are able to tap into at any moment in time by just asking for it or bringing your awareness to it. You know what I'm saying? Or asking it, however it is you want to do it, telling your guides to send it to you, or I like to connect to source, just source, like the all. I just think about everything, and I think about source, and all of a sudden I start feeling all this love, and I'm just like, oh, that's for me. Because you deserve it. You deserve so much love, because you are love. A good affirmation is what I like to, if I want to feel better as well, or if I just want to feel connected, or I want to feel the love, I like to say, I am safe. I put my hand over my heart and I just take a deep breath and I say, I am safe. That seems to help calm everything. There's also, I am love. I like to say that I am love one when I'm kind of feeling like fear energy. I like to say I am love, because then that kind of brings in that love energy, and that can be very helpful if you're feeling fearful of the future or uncertain or just not good. And then also, like I said, the I am safe one is a very comforting type of mantra as well too, that if you sit with yourself and you just take a deep breath, you will feel the effects. For sure. But just knowing that you are a part of creation and all and everything is something that's so cool at the same time too. Like, I think sometimes it's good to remind ourselves that we're not this version of ourselves, that we're not this human version of ourselves, you know, we're actually something that's so much greater, so much cooler and complicated and unexplainable at the same time. And it's really cool. I always go into those deep thoughts at night as well too, usually when I'm supposed to be sleeping, but you know, it's very interesting. And it's like, I like to think of this human life too as like us. Obviously you come into this life and you forget that you are this crazy, powerful, loving energy of the universe that had all-knowing access to everything that's ever existed at the tip of your tongue whenever you needed it. That's kind of cool too, that we forgot that. And so with that being said, I like to think of us as humans is like, oh, do we moved the thing? I like to think of us as like ridiculously overqualified for this role that we're playing, but absolutely no idea that that's true. Almost like a spiritual imposter syndrome. And it's also really cool to think about as well too, because when you are, this is kind of what I've gotten from spirit, is when you are on the other side, you do know everything. There's nothing left to discover. So one of the cool things and the cool appreciation that spirits have for the human experience is the fact that you get to forget everything and who you are, and you get to watch yourself become something and then also unbecome something. It's a really, really cool experience if you, from a higher perspective. Sometimes it sucks when you're in it, yes, of course, but I do like to remind myself too of the higher perspective, because it is something to be experienced, and it is ours and ours alone. And something that's so special about our experience is that, you know, the eyes, the windows of the soul, is that it's just that it's our own perspective, which is so special and so helpful to the universe as well. Because if it wasn't needed, you wouldn't be here. So you are extremely important. I hope you get that's the point here, is that you are extremely, extremely important, and you are extremely loved. And sometimes you have to remember who the hell you are, because we forget. Okay, let's get one more card for you. Maybe I'll read these. They came out. I'll read them. The presence of love will always cast out fear. Oh, I like that. We were kind of talking about that too, of that mantra of like remembering and bringing in that loving energy when you're feeling fearful. Oh, I love this hummingbird too. Hummingbirds could be significant for you as well. But the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. Ooh, yes, with the star card coming through as well too. Faith over fear is something that is so important. And it's something that's, I feel like we all kind of tend to revert back to at times. You know, it's okay to forget, but it's also important to remind yourself of that you're capable, especially, you know, growing up in a world where it's kind of taboo to believe in yourself. You know, be that person that believes in yourself anyways. Like, do it anyways, because there's a truth to this belief of believing in yourself, believing that you're capable and that you're able to overcome. Also, hummingbirds remind me of joy as well too. So maybe trying your best to have more joyful experiences, maybe little moments as well, especially when you're not feeling good. That's always good. Joy is such a great medicine, and it's needed. And it's a great way to raise your vibration as well too. So the card that came out for you though is we have, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. Oh, like we have that I am love again too. And then miracles are natural. You know, it's okay to believe in the impossible. You are a miracle. You know what I'm saying? Like with all of the odds of you being here and things like that, you are a quite literal miracle. And so if you exist and miracles exist, then things can change for you at any moment. You know, not everything has to be the same all the time. And not everything lasts forever. And I love that how we were just talking about that joy as well, that I create mindful moments throughout the day. That can be creating mindful moments for yourself to experience something that you like whether that's waking up and listening to your favorite music. That's if you drink coffee, using your favorite creamer and your coffee, you know, and just because you enjoy it, you know, or things like that, that all those little things add up to a whole lifetime full of joyful and mindful experiences. And I think that's really important because our whole lives are made up usually of mundane things, our day to day. So if we can add any more joy or any pizzazz in there, or just do things that we like to do, just because we deserve to do things we like to do, that is an extreme self-love act, I think, too. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there for you. Thank you so much for staying till the end. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for being here, of course. Thank you for being you. Like I said, you are 100% needed in this world, and don't you forget it, okay? And also thank you to everyone who likes the videos, who shows support or comments, support for the channel and for each other. I love that so much. Thank you so much. And also special shout out and thank you to all the people who subscribe. Thank you so much. I'm just so grateful for every single one of you, and I love that we get to be a part of each other's journey and we get to see where it goes and all that stuff. So I am just grateful for every single one of you. So if you did enjoy this reading and you would want to see more and you're not subscribed, you can subscribe too if that's something you want to do. Of course, if you want to do it. And either way, I will see you on the other side. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Hemimorphite or if you chose the Affrimators Tarot, either way, welcome. Every time I see the Affrimators Tarot, I always think of that song Regulators because I want to say it. I want to be like, Affrimators. You know that song that's like, Regulators? No? No? All right. Well, it's a good song. Anyways, so today we are, I feel a little like giddy. I don't know why. I feel like happy to see you, Pile 3. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe that has something to do with the energy coming through and these changes. We'll see, I guess. But let's go ahead and talk about your reading. First things first, I want to look at where these changes are going to be taking place for you, like what part of your life, what aspects of your life or your situation are these changes going to be happening for you. Then we're going to look a little bit deeper to see what these changes actually are. And then we're going to be getting some information about what you need to know about these changes. And then last but not least, as always, we're going to be pulling some advice for you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So Spirit, if you can please tune me in here to my pile 3's energy, and please tune me into these changes that they're going to be experiencing on or around the time that they are coming across this reading, please. Thank you. So first things first, let's see where are these changes taking place for pile 3, please. Ooh, we have the World. Interesting. Where are these taking place, changes? I don't know why I wanted to be like, oh, in the world. So silly. All right, where are these changes taking place for pile 3, please? We have Judgment. Ooh, we already got some powerful energy. We have the World and Judgment coming out for you. I feel like these changes are going to be very important to you already. Uh-oh, that flew. Excuse me. Okay, we also have the 10 of Cups. Where are these changes taking place for pile 3, please? So we have the 5 of Swords and we have the 7 of Swords, both coming out together. Bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Pentacles. So I feel like this, first of all, with the World here, this is definitely, and the Judgment, both of those cards can indicate some sort of ending here. I feel like there was a big realization and there's an ending of a cycle for you where you realized a lot about something. This could have been some sort of truth. This could just be a lot in general, you know what I'm saying? And I think what's one of the things that's changing for you as well is it's the way that you look at the world, or the way that you're perceiving things. This could be a definite perspective shift for you, almost like with the 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords, like a kind of a victim mindset to, I have all the things necessary within me to create the life that I want. Kind of an example of that as well. Also the 5 of Pentacles coming at the bottom. Oh yeah, the Magician, like your inner power and what you're able to manifest. That's going to be something that's changing for you. I think a lot of this has to do with your own abilities, because I feel like this mouse is so cute and it's here and it's like this mighty little mouse at the top of this big mountain looking up at the sun. And I feel like this is some sort of accomplishment for you too. And the Judgment card can also represent, truth. It can represent like a realization, an awakening, basically like when the Judgment card comes into our life, it's like we're seeing something now kind of for the first time through new eyes, and we're able to make certain choices that better ourselves. And I feel like, yeah, this is definitely a perspective shift for you. Like you're going to be feeling more grateful. You're going to be feeling more hopeful. And then, like I said, it's like maybe a tough battle or a tough financial situation for some of you with the 7 of Swords here too. Some kind of scarcity mindset triggers. That seems to be kind of that cycle that is going to be ending for you, and the change that is going to be coming. I'm hearing almost like night and day. And this Judgment does kind of remind me of the Sun card. I mean, it does have a sun as well. So we're going to look a little bit deeper right now, and we're going to see what. So I feel like I was going to say we're going to see what these changes actually are, but I was going to say I think there's multiple aspects for you, multiple parts of your life that are going to be changing. And I think this has a lot to do again with your mindset and your perspective and your ability to create and manifest as the creator of your own life. It's like you're stepping into some sort of powerful period, or stepping into your power here. It's like, and you're switching the script on yourself. You're switching the story. You're rewriting that story. You're saying like, this isn't what I want anymore. And now let's get to it. Like, let's get to the things. Let's get to the good part here. It's kind of like how I'm feeling with this. So let's get a little bit more specific, shall we? And let's see what actually are these changes. Like, what are these changes that are going to be happening for pile 3? Okay, so we have woman dealing with a relationship with a woman at the bottom. Okay, so we have wreath. We have sorrow over a loss. We have hills, obstacles to overcome. Pay attention to your work. Too much concern with sexual matters. Oh, right. Definite, like the focus shift for here, and the change is definitely going to be from a focus of loss. I definitely see now that there was a connection here, or somebody that you were dealing with, that it definitely seems like, you know, it didn't work out, and maybe one or both parties had to go their separate ways. There could have been trust issues and things like that. This is definitely an end of a cycle, which is going to be ending a tough period for you. I feel like there's definitely healing involved for sure. And I think that with the hills and the pay attention to your work, I think that one of the focuses is going to be coming off of this situation and more on you and your development. Like with the 5 of Pentacles, it's like your money, your career, what's important to you. You know, you could have had a situation definitely that took a lot of your time and took a lot of your energy. And now it's like what's changing is that perspective of like, okay, that it's like, it's almost an acceptance here too that I'm seeing. Like you're accepting what had happened, and it doesn't mean that you're just going to boom, get over it and be fine. But, you know, eventually you definitely will. And it's like now your energy and your focus is going towards something really productive, instead of trying to build something that just kept collapsing, or something that wasn't really meant to be, or wasn't going to work, at least right now in this time in general. And I think that it's an important pivot for you in your life. I think that you learned a lot of lessons, and I think you learned a lot about yourself as well. And I think with that knowledge, and it's almost like I'm hearing like you're getting some sort of like self-respect within yourself, and this almost like this inner fire to just be better in all aspects of your life. And that's why I think I was feeling strongly this change is going to be affecting more aspects than just one. Let's see, what are these changes? Ooh, we have Turkey at the bottom, which is someone is behaving stupidly. For some reason, that makes me think of Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving could have been significant, or maybe this next Thanksgiving could be significant. Or maybe around that time. We also have Carriage, a journey either physical or mental. We have Lily, which is spiritual love, and then we have disappointment and some affair. With the scissors here too, the scissors makes me think that you're cutting out a lot of things, a lot of unnecessary things that are just holding you down. Yes, that could be a very disappointing thing to have to release, to have to walk away from, or to have to cut out. But I think the focus here with the changes is on your own happiness. And I think what you're really trying to do here is focus on yourself, your happiness, and what really makes you feel good. Because I think you've spent a lot of time making other people feel good. And I think you've spent a lot of time making others feel appreciated where maybe you didn't get that back in return, or maybe there was just too much conflict and too much stress and maybe not enough truth or some betrayal here with the Seven of Swords that made you feel anything less than worthy. So this is really telling too to the fact that we have you taking your power back as well. It's not only just manifestations here. This is like in all aspects. This is like you rising above, overcoming, and being just better. I feel like strongly there's a glow up for you coming after this, whether that is just physically, mentally, or spiritually, or all of the above. I wouldn't even, oh, and we have strength too. Like, yeah, the strength that you're gaining from this, or at least you have, is really helping you along the way. I think a lot of this has to do with, you know, realizations, like I said before, of your self-respect and what it is that you feel worthy of and what's worthy of your time and energy and love. It's like no more wasting it, because it's precious. Energy is precious. It's currency, and it's our time and energy is just as important, if not more important than money, because you can get money back. You know, you can't get lost time back, but what you can do is you can start over and you can rebuild, and you can rebuild yourself even better. The cool thing about, you know, being able to start over is that you can rebrand yourself over and over and over again, and you can set new, higher expectations for yourself that you probably never could have thought for yourself as well. It's like there's a very hopeful energy opening up here for you. Another thing too about that is that I got this message earlier about like maybe the best revenge for other people is you just living your best life. Like if there's a situation where somebody thought you were the problem all the time and they weren't seeing like how their actions affected you, I think the fact that they may be seeing you, or you may just be eventually so much happier without them, is very telling to the energy that they bring to the table as well. It's like you don't have to convince anyone anymore of your worth, of what you're capable of, and how good of a person and how much love, you know, you deserve and who you are, because now the only person that matters in this scenario or the situation is you. And I don't expect it to be an easy road the whole time. Of course, when you hear messages like this, that kind of, I feel like they kind of pump you up a little bit, you know. In times where things aren't easy, it's good to remind yourself of things like this, of messages like this. And also it's good to remind yourself of why you are making these changes. They're for yourself, because you're so worth it. A lot of the time when it comes to going through tough cycles or tough situations and making those hard decisions, it's not usually when people do, or when you see someone that's, you know, pulling through a tough time, it's not because they don't want to, or it's not because they don't want to give up, but it's because they know that they deserve more. It's because they know that they deserve to meet that version of themselves on the other side that they have yet to meet. And they know that they deserve to live that life and make those changes that they've been wanting to make. It's all about the effort here, I think, for yourself. And you're almost like creating these changes in such a positive way. With this rabbit, too much concern with sexual matters, I think that there's a strong attraction here, and you're also being guided to not pay too much attention, or try not to let that attraction or that desire cloud your judgment. So that could be something that kind of you feel holds you back. Especially if you're dealing with somebody that isn't good for you, or that doesn't make you feel good, or that hurts you, you know, if that's the case here, that's definitely something to look for. One of the things someone told me a really long time ago is that if you are very attracted to somebody and maybe you kind of allow them to get away with more than they should, if you were to like switch, say like you had a vision of the most unattractive person to you in the world, and that's subjective, so whoever that is to you, you know, or whatever that looks like to you. I shouldn't say who, because we don't want to hurt feelings here, but whatever that looks like to you, right? If you were to put the person you're attracted to's actions, switch it onto that person you're not attracted to's body, would you even in the slightest allow anything that they did or anything that they do? Probably not, right? Because those glasses, those rose-colored glasses, are that desire, that attraction, that kind of is like this unseen force that wants to bring you closer to something or somebody, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of out of the way, and now you can see the truth for what it really is, which is how they are behaving and their actions. And so that's such a great reminder if you are trying to get away from somebody or something that you find yourself attracted to. First of all, it's human nature. You know, we like what we like. We're into what we're into. There's no shame involved, but it's for your betterment and for your happiness, for your own happiness, you know? It's like you've had this realization, or this change is going to be this realization of what you want and what makes you happy. And there's also another realization that could be a tough thing, is that it's not going to be what you maybe wanted it to be in the past. And this is something that you are definitely divinely guided towards. This is something that is going to be better for you in the end, because you're doing it out of the love that you have for yourself and what's better for yourself. And that's the right motives, you know. I feel like it's a great place to start. That's the right motives, is to do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else, you know. So let's see what else you may need to know about these changes. For some of you, this could be like something that has not happened yet and will happen, or it's like you would know, like, I'm not here. If you're in a happy relationship right now, I'm not saying you're going to break up with your partner. Like, that's not what I'm saying. You would know to an extent that that's where it's leading. But I think that there are people watching this that may be in different areas of this. Like, some of you may be further along, and some of you may be just reaching that as well too. So I feel like for the people that are further along, that, you know, they can be very supportive if you want to be towards the people that are just starting, because you are going to make it through for sure. There's no doubt in my mind. We have the Strength card and the Magician. This is about you stepping back into your power, being strong. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, that's like everything that we talked about. Getting what you deserve, your own abundance, your own life, and everything that you've ever wanted. It's like you're going to give it to yourself now. And that's a powerful place to be. Don't get me wrong. That's so underrated at times, is to be able to provide in your own happiness, to be able to provide your own love and your own financial things. Because if that's the case, then you don't have to depend on anyone else, because people are people and they can be very undependable at times. And is it independable? Not dependable? You get what I'm saying. But yeah, they can, and it's just a way. And so not having to depend on anyone else for your own satisfaction, for your own happiness and your own needs, is quite literally the definition of personal power at times. And not letting anyone bring you down. Okay. So Spirit, what does pile 3 need to know about these changes? Ooh. Oh my gosh, I was gonna say, I just saw this card. My intuition, like, when I was shuffling, my intuition was like, oh, Fire Mother. Definitely. Should have said something, because then I would have looked cooler, but it doesn't matter. It's here now. So we have Fire Mother with number 9. I can't help to be drawn to the number 9 as well. The number 9 being the number of the Hermit, which is a kind of solo, soul-searching type of energy. But this Fire Mother is about the Phoenix, the rising of the Phoenix, protecting what is important to you and knowing that you will overcome as well. I can't help but to, I think this card came out in another reading, and all I could think about in the other reading was in another tarot deck. This is about, or it looks exactly like the Queen of Wands, which is it's called Fire Mother. And I think the Queen of Wands is the mother of fire in that deck. And it has a snake, and it's protecting its eggs as well. The eggs, I feel like, are symbolizing, you know, your process. Like, you're still kind of incubating, and you're going to have this amazing transformation with this Phoenix energy. But it's like, you know, you kind of have to protect yourself right now. And I also, with it kind of relating to the Queen of Wands, I feel like this is about you rising above and having a much more higher sense of confidence, self-esteem. I feel like this is great. This is going to be great for your self-esteem eventually. And I also think that, yeah, the Queen of Wands to me just gives glow up. Like, you know, it's like and I'm hearing now, I was just gonna say, it's like you're coming out even better. And I just heard the song that was like, I'm coming out as I was saying that. And so That's, I think, very telling to the end result of this process. And I think this is coming again to remind you to protect yourself, protect your energy. You are still going through this. And so to be gentle, to be kind with yourself, to nurture yourself as well. You know, that mother energy. Remember that you're an important person and you deserve the love as well too. And you have this beautiful journey to yourself, to back to yourself, that I feel like is very important. That's why when we had this powerful energy, that right when we had the world and we had judgment, I was like, this is a very, very, very important changes for you. Like, I could already tell. I was like, whoa, that's powerful. Pivotal. I keep hearing pivotal. Now I'm drawn to the bottom of the deck, which is laughing and crying. And you know what? This 54 is number 9 as well. Oh, and restless. Yeah, sometimes we can be restless, kind of just waiting for things. It feels like at times you're kind of just waiting for things to get better, waiting for something to happen. Maybe a lot on your phone, spending time kind of just feeling like the hours are just taken on by and stuff. I feel like that's something that is going to be resolving for you, but also the best thing to do in that type of energy, if you feel restless, is grounding for sure. Take a shower, go for a walk, just anything that kind of just can break you out of that little spell is going to be something that's really good for you as well too. But I feel like with the laughing and crying, this is really about the whole range of emotions that we experience, you know, on our path and through our life, that we have ups and downs. We have moments of laughing, we have moments of crying. In the crying, you will, in the crying moments, you will laugh again. And in the laughing moments, enjoy them, because sometimes we'll cry again. And also sometimes you may laugh so hard that you cry. But regardless, this is about, you know, the fact that every situation has its ups and downs, especially the healing process, especially a process where you're going through a transformation. You need to remind yourself and give yourself that grace of knowing that it's not always going to be peaceful. It's not always going to be calm and happy. Like, you're processing things. You're going through a transformation, which means that you're going to be releasing things. You may have a grieving process that comes out of nowhere. You may burst into tears out of nowhere, and you may just feel really good tomorrow too. You know, you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. And just because some bad days are happening doesn't mean that you're going to have a bad life forever. They're not going to last forever. The good days will come again. And you will experience joy again. You will experience all of the things that we're kind of meant to experience here. So we have 99, which reminds me of 999, which is definitely a cycle ending for you here with this world. Let's get one more. What is one more thing that pile 3 needs to know about these changes, Spirit? Cornucopia and the messenger. Ooh. Ugh. Cornucopia means that it's good things are coming. You know what I'm saying? This is about you getting rewards and the outcomes. I feel called for the bottom one. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt myself, but we have the one who hides the sun with number 8. Now that kind of switched my focus to this, but I want to talk about these two first. Like, this cornucopia is about things regrowing for you. Maybe the losses that you feel or the losses that you've been going through, they're going to be reproducing for you in your life. Like, there's always abundance there, okay? There's always going to be something to look forward to. There's always going to be something to be grateful for. But for you in particular, a cornucopia is like an overflow of abundance. And I think that, you know, this is all about the duality of when we're going through scarcity times, when we're going through hard times. Usually we get rewarded after with great abundance and great things too. So when you're going, again, it's like another message of when you're going through hard times, remember that things regrow. Like, if you have to eat an apple, like for example, if you have to eat an apple and the apple's gone, but you have the seeds, and now you're able to plant those seeds and regrow as many times and as over as many challenges and as many times as you really do need to. Pile 3, like, you will regrow. It's possible. And I think with this messenger, this is all about that wisdom. This here is giving me very much Hierophant, the Hierophant, or the key in the book of knowledge and things like that. Also, I'm hearing that there's messages in your dreams for specific healings as well. And write down your feelings and write down your griefs and write down your anything that's bothering you and anything just to get it out. That can be something that is very helpful. And also it can be a key in showing you what needs to be seen about your feelings and about this journey that you are embarking on. And it's really important that you understand yourself. I think that this is a time for you to really get to know yourself all over again in so many different ways. And then also this messenger card too. I feel like this is like the wisdom that you keep within yourself that's going to be unfolding for you, and that you're also going to be gaining from experience as well too. Now the one that hides the sun, oh, look, under that we have predictions of growth, and then we have justice. Ooh, and we have protect your heart underneath that. I love when they just tell little tiny stories because, yeah, you know, this is about getting away from people and things that hide your light, where you feel like people were trying to bring you down, where you feel like people were trying to have other people not see you shine, or not see your beautiful light. Or maybe they were trying to, maybe there's people in your life that were trying to hide your light even from yourself. They were trying to convince you that you were somebody you're not. You know what I'm saying? This is, again, that healing process. And look at this prediction of growth. The prediction of growth talks about growth and it happening and you overcoming. So this is amazing for you. I feel like this is such a great outcome for you. I feel strongly for you, pile 3, that these changes, like I said, are not easy, but also, you know, self-development and growth and wanting better for yourself, again, is already something that's not for the weak. It's not something that a lot of people can handle. A lot of people stay with what they know, or they go back to old situations, or they, you know what I'm saying? And regardless of like, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that too, because sometimes we go back to situations as many times as we need before we come out on the other side as well too, you know? But what I'm saying is that that takes courage to do that, to start over, to want change, to want better, and to act on it, and to leave, you know, certain things behind. That takes great courage. So I am really proud of you, and you should be really proud of yourself as well too. And this is a time for, I think you're gonna, after this, you're going to be shining. Like, this is, I feel, the hardest part for you. Okay. Let's look now and see what advice we have for you. So what advice do we have for pile 3? I feel like the silence is deafening for you. For me, like, you know what? I just stopped talking, and like that silence, I don't know why. I just felt like that was like eerie. Maybe silence is something that is needed. There is a stream of love supporting my dreams. I love this. Your decisions to be better, to do better, to want better is definitely divinely supported and divinely guided. You are supported so much on the spiritual side for this. A spirit and your spirit team is rooting for you. They're going woo 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 woo. Pile 3, you know what I'm saying? They're doing that for you, and I love that. And sometimes it feels like we're not supported because these choices can bring hardships at first, you know, or it can seem difficult and stuff, or you know, there's all this healing that is coming up and stuff like that, but it's 100% supported here. So if you've been doubting yourself and doubting your choices, this is coming to you to say, knock it off. Don't do that. You are making the right choices. You are on the right path. I didn't mean to scare. I think I scared somebody there. I feel like I scared somebody there with that. So sorry. Apologize. Anyways, but you know, you get what I'm saying. I just need to wake up a little bit and remember that you are divinely guided, and that your dreams are meant to be for you. They're meant to be a reality because they're yours. They're your dreams. Of course they are. Also, you could be someone who holds a lot of wisdom through experience and maybe just naturally, and it can help you along your way. For some of you, particularly, whatever it is that you're wanting to do, this wisdom, even though it may seemingly made for some of you not be disconnected or not be connected, it could help like benefit you. That's just a message as well. Okay. And then this card, this is one of my favorite cards here because it's come out for me when I've needed it the most. And it's come out for me sometimes in my toughest times, and it says, I find deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. There's definitely a deeper meaning here for all of these experiences that you are going through, and will overcome for sure. The moon symbolizes different cycles of our lives and being able to be full again. It's, being able to be full again. And then we go back to that new moon, which is, kind of feeling like you need to hide away, taking time for yourself. And all of these are cycles and phases of your life and everyone's life, really, that we all have to go through in order to be full again and to come out on top. And I feel like this is a pile too that doesn't take things very lightly. Like, I think you do understand the connection between all things. And I think you do understand that there is a lot of deeper meaning through certain things, even if you don't know what it is yet. And so that attitude is going to help you tremendously as well, because that means you're looking for the problem. You're looking for, and I'm not saying that you are a problem or anything like that, but it's like when you're looking to find the solution, you will find the solution, okay? When you're looking to get better, you will get better. It's just a matter of time. Oh, this one's come out in every single pile. I love that, because sometimes we forget. We forget that at the end of the day, the universe does have our back. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but but it really does. Like, there is so much support for you, pile 3, in this endeavor. And Spirit just knows you're going to come out on the other side of these changes a completely different person, is what I'm hearing. I was going to say tremendously better, but Spirit said a completely different person. And that's something that's so awesome. And Spirit wants to give you everything that you've ever deserved. And by you making the choices, first of all, of stepping away or wanting to change the things that you don't deserve, that's the initiative that Spirit wants to see right there. And you're doing great. And even though you may not feel supported at times, because I feel like this pile right now, for some of you in particular, you may just not feel that. I promise you. And I want you to remember that you truly, truly are. And that nothing is here to break you. You are here to overcome. You are here to succeed. You're here to get better. Challenges are something that everyone goes through in life. That's the thing too, is that it's not like the universe pinpointed you out and said, oh, you're the only one that's going to go through these challenges while everyone else gets to laugh and enjoy and things like that. No one goes through a lifetime without some sort of suffering. Okay, or some sort of loss and things like that. It's really just a matter of time. But also, we can appreciate the things that we do have, and we can appreciate all of the things we gain at the end of the day, because you will gain so much from this, and you have gained so much from this. And I feel like you have overcome so much that it's almost impossible to believe that you can't keep going, You'd be crazy to look back at your life and all the things you've overcome and say, oh, I don't think I can handle this next challenge. No way. No way. Not my pile 3. Oh, I love this. I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. You know what's crazy is I haven't used this deck in so long. Like, I have decks that, you get years ago, and then you use them, and then, whatever. Anyways, I brought it out today, and almost every card, I'm like, it reminds me of like when I used to see these cards, and I'm like, that's my favorite card. That's my favorite card. And now I'm starting to think, how many favorite cards do I have in this deck? Because I'm like, oh my gosh, this was my favorite card. It's so funny. But I love that. Yeah, I'm a spirit having a human experience, and I am here to get closer to love. It is an experience, and life is to be experienced. Sometimes we don't enjoy every single one of those experiences, but it is an experience nonetheless. And life is definitely meant to be experienced. It's not meant to be perceived. So sometimes we got to take that focus back too on like how other people are viewing us, or that comparison to other people's lives and other people's situations. Sometimes we have to remember that it's our experience and it's our perspective and it's our way of viewing things that makes it our own and our life. And that's so beautiful. And it's ours and only ours. And it's 100% needed in this world. Okay. So I love you, pile 3. You definitely got this. I can't wait to see, this beautiful glow up of yours. I can't wait to see you feeling better, doing better, and showing everyone else who tried to bring you down that, they can't keep a good person down for long, that you will rise and that you will overcome. And And I was gonna say something else. I don't know. I should say that, but okay, I'll say it. It was like your success story is gonna shit on everything else. All that other stuff. All that other stuff is just water under the bridge. Like you're gonna be okay. Like I definitely know that this is a pile that's gonna be okay. So remind yourself too that you're gonna be okay and everything's gonna work out for you, because it is. And I'm telling you. So yeah, on that note, I think we are going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for staying till the end. Thank you so much for listening to me. I love you guys so much. Thank you to all who like the videos. That's such an easy way to support. Thank you all who comment and support each other in the comments and support this channel. I'm so grateful. And thank you most of all to all the people that subscribe. I just love you guys so much. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next reading. So if you are not subscribed and you don't want to miss out on the next reading, you can go ahead and subscribe now if you want to, of course, and I'll see you there. Bye.